Hey, and welcome to the Meditations and Musings podcast. I'm Elena Lipson. I'm a mama, I'm a wife, and I'm the founder of the Divine Self-Care Circle membership and the Virtual Retreat Academy. I don't believe that you have to sacrifice your body, your health, or your family in order to create true abundance and prosperity. I believe in living based on the divine feminine metrics of success, and these include pleasure, play, ease, grace, and a slower pace. Each week, I'll bring you 1 to 2 new episodes. One of these will be a guided meditation that you don't have to do on the meditation pillow, and the other will be a conversation to help you access your inner wisdom, to ignite abundance, and inspire others to do the same. I invite you to join me on this journey back to the magic of a divinely aligned and well cared for you. And now, join me for today's episode.
Hello and welcome to this week's podcast episode of the Meditations and Musings podcast. My name is Elena Lipson. I am your host and your Divine Self-Care Mentor. Today we're going to dive right in to our money meditation. And this is the meditation where you will meet your inner money priestess. This is the innermost part of you that is worthy of all forms of abundance, whether it's through friendship, through time, through freedom, abundance of money and prosperity, abundance of anything that you're wanting and craving in your life. Artistically, creatively, whether it's actual in-form stuff that you're wanting around you, whether you're wanting to create space for the freedom to feel into each day, whether you're wanting to create abundance of conversations that fuel you, that bring you joy. This is the conversation where you will meet your inner priestess and you will ask for guidance to help you to release anything that's standing in your way to fully receive your birthright of pleasure, as we talked about in our last podcast episode, your birthright of abundance. And before we dive in, I want to just take a moment to help you get realigned to the value of money. In case, even just saying money, I want you to just pause and feel what it brings up in your body. When I say money, what does it mean in your body? Now, part of what I teach in self-care is the ability to receive, which is equal and opposite to the ability to give. Now, the giving part, as a woman, if you're like most women that I've met in my work and in my life, you're really good at giving. If not overgiving, in areas where you are giving at your own expense. But that receiving muscle, that receiving ability, that receiving energy is something that we have been taught is connected to greed, is connected to selfishness, is connected to taking from others, is connected to taking more than you can handle, and taking more than you are worthy of receiving. So these are messages that we receive in subtle ways and sometimes not so subtle ways based on where you grew up, the people in your life, the family that you grew up with in your home, the messages that you picked up consciously and unconsciously just by being in the house, the messages you received around money, around paying bills. And honestly, sometimes even if you grow up with money, the perspective that your parents or your family has around money could still give you the sense that there is massive lack in the world, that you have to break your back to get money, that you have to hustle so hard that you sacrifice your health, that people with money are unkind and selfish and greedy and don't do good things with their money. Now, of course, there are greedy people in the world. Of course, there are selfish people in the world. And these are aspects of ourselves that we can come to terms with. There's parts of us that sometimes feel like we have to cling to money because it's going to go away. And if your pattern is to make money and then lose it, or to go into debt, then maybe there's a pattern there that needs to be addressed and unlocked. The interesting thing about all of these patterns around money is that they're not so deeply embedded that you can't change them. But the first step is to have awareness around them and to really start noticing when I say the word money, do you feel constriction in your chest? Do you feel a little bit of tingling or pain in your belly? Does your head begin to feel constricted, like a headache is coming on? Maybe you start right away thinking about your debt or expenses or things that you want but may never achieve if you don't have the money to do so. Money is one of those things that has so much emotion wrapped up in it, just like food. It's interesting. Our emotions are so powerful that they will encompass all of our little buried secrets, won't they? If you have suppressed emotions around food or money, these are just habits. These are things that we've learned along the way that can feel very, very difficult to unravel. For some people, their unraveling has to do around food. For others, relationships. For others, weight. For others, money. There's a myriad of things that we as human beings get stuck in. Those things that we get stuck in because we feel like they've always been that way and they're always going to be that way. And I call complete bullshit on that. As hard as it is, or that's a story we can tell ourselves to change, some things are easy to change. We know how to change. But some things, they're entangled with many layers of unspoken emotions. One of the things that I teach the women in my Divine Self-Care Circle, one of the things that I talk about on podcasts, when I'm interviewed, when I teach the most, is my magic morning practice. The reason this magic morning practice is so powerful in beginning to shift your habits around really anything you want to shift habits around is because you start every single day with presence, intention, and awareness. Magic morning stands for movement, alignment, gratitude, intention, and connection. That is what happens. That is what you begin embedding in your day when you start with a magic morning practice. If you want to learn more about the magic morning practice, I'm not going to get into the details right now, but you can head on over to elenalipson.com/gift, or just on the front page of my website, enter your name and email, and I will send you a short video explaining exactly how the magic morning practice helps you to start unraveling some of these habits with awareness, with gratitude, with alignment, and with movement of your body. If you're struggling, shifting habits, keeping promises to yourself, and moving in a direction in your life where you envision hope, possibility, true connection with yourself, and getting aligned with the prosperity that you're calling in, I invite you to go ahead and try the magic morning practice for just a few days. And soon, in the next 30 to 60 days, I'm going to be running a 5-day challenge around the magic morning practice. So make sure you stay on my website, get on that list, or listen to my podcast when I announce a date for a live 5-day magic morning practice challenge where we're going to do it together. I'm going to help you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to guide you in getting aligned and starting to unravel some of those knots that keep you stuck where you are right now and help you get to where you want to be today, not 5 years from now, today. So let's go ahead and find a comfortable place. We're going to go ahead and do this Inner Priestess of Money meditation to help you start getting connected with that version of yourself, that vision of yourself that you want to step into today. So go ahead and start taking some nice deep breaths. A breath is a powerful tool to get you into the present moment. And the present moment is where possibility, potentiality, opportunity, inspiration, alignment, ideas, creativity, they all live in the here and now. Now give yourself a chance to get fully present simply by following your breath. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And do that 2 or 3 more times as you begin to feel a sense of presence, of relaxation in your body, giving yourself the gift of being fully present. And if you find your mind wandering off, just refocus on your breath. It's totally natural to wander. The gift of coming back is a resilient mind, a creative mind, a present and aware mind. Starting from the top of your head, with each breath, notice any tension that you're holding and allow it to soften. As I speak each body part, allow just the mention of that part of your body to soften, even just by 1 or 2 degrees. Notice any tension in your forehead, bringing relaxation to your ears, to the back of your eyes. Notice your jaws and your lips and your tongue, parting your lips just a bit, releasing any tension in your jaw muscles by allowing your teeth to part slightly. As you continue your deep inhale and exhale, notice any tension in your shoulders, in your neck, allowing them to soften. Continuing to breathe. Notice any tension in your arms, your hands, your fingers, softening each part as it's spoken aloud. As you continue to breathe, notice any gripping or tension in your chest, your upper back, your middle back, your solar plexus, your lower belly, your lower back, internally in your pelvis, any gripping in your thighs, your sphincter. As you continue to breathe in, allowing the exhalation to release any holding, gripping, or tension in your calves, your shins, your feet, and your toes. Allowing the roots at the bottom of your feet to unfurl, gently grounding you to this very moment, to this very space. With your next breath, do one more final scan of your body, releasing any last bits of tension, gripping, or holding. Allowing your breath to settle into a rhythm that matches your own heartbeat and your energy of the moment. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine a place in the world or in your imagination, in nature, that is a spot where you can fully relax into the magic of nature. Perhaps your spot is on a beach somewhere on a tropical island. Perhaps it's at the top of a mountain overlooking clouds and the eagles soaring beneath you. Perhaps your place is in a meadow with wildflowers, or in the middle of a dense forest with beams of sunlight flowing through. Find your place, a place where your body feels fully relaxed, fully present, fully alive. As you land in your place, begin to look around and notice. Notice the air on your skin. Notice what's around you. Are you warm? Are you cool? Look down at your feet. Are you standing barefoot on the sand or the grass or the soil? As you look around, you notice that there's a beautiful, perfect spot for you to sit and settle into the space. You slowly walk over and you sit down. And you notice that there's one space next to you, as if you're expecting a visitor. As you look over beyond to the right, there's a path leading right to you. And on that path, you start getting a glimpse of a being walking towards you. And instinctively you know that this is your inner being, your divine priestess, that part of you that is so worthy and whole and present and lit up to the abundance and infinite capacity to receive all that she desires in this universe. It's that part of you that is timeless, that has been here before, that is connected to the absolute limitlessness of space, of the stars, of the galaxies, and is walking with you in this lifetime. And at this very moment, she is walking right towards you. Notice what she's wearing. Notice her demeanor, her presence, her confidence, her joy, and the happiness on her face as she's coming towards you and makes her way to sit next to you in this beautiful, magical space. This is your opportunity to ask 2 questions. 1, what do I need to know in order to step into this true abundance that I'm seeking in my life? What do I need to know? And you ask this question and you listen, trusting that you're going to receive the answer that your soul needs to hear. You may have received the answer in a word, in a feeling, in a symbol. Trust what you've received. And the second question is, what am I ready to release? Or what do I need to release to take inspired action on my path? What do I need to release? You ask the question and await your answer. Once again, you may have received the answer in the form of a symbol, a word, a nudge, a knowing of exactly what needs to be released. Sometimes it's as simple as clearing out clutter in your life or releasing the self-doubt. Whatever your answer was, trust deeply that this is exactly what you needed to hear today. And finally, this inner divine being, this priestess, has a gift for you to represent your journey forward. As she hands you the gift, you receive it and take a moment to thank her. As she begins to walk away back into the inner spaces of your soul's being, you look down at the gift and notice what she gave you. Again, it could be a symbol or an actual gift. Take a moment to really receive the message from this gift. What is it that you received in order to help you take inspired action on your path? You place this gift at a pocket symbolically near your heart, where you will carry it with you moving forward, knowing that you received exactly what you needed to hear, to receive, and to see at this exact moment in your life. Now take a moment to stand up in this space, in your mind's eye, and in your own way, give gratitude to this divine inner priestess, to the space in your soul, and to the gifts that you've received today. Once you're complete with your gratitude, take a nice deep breath and come fully back into your body. Begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and begin to feel into the messages that you received. If you have access to your journal right now, go ahead and take some notes. Don't lose the inspiration. Sometimes the symbols and the gifts we receive from our innermost divine being, that inner guide that's just waiting there for asking, gives us the symbols, gives us exactly what we need to know. But unless we take those gifts, unless we receive those messages, and we ground them into form with words on paper, really understanding them, reflecting on them, letting them ripple out into our day, and then taking that inspired action, those messages will just fade away. They'll become a regret. They'll become that thing that you knew you wanted to do, that you received the message to do, to share, to feel into, to do, to create, and they'll just become another broken promise. So right now, I invite you to take a good 5-10 minutes and just write, just reflect on what came up for you. What messages did you receive? Even if it was just one thing that came from it, trust that you received guidance from your innermost divine being. This inner priestess that is worthy of all of the abundance, the beauty, the joy, the creativity, and yes, the money that you are wanting to create in your life. So take some time, make some notes, and most importantly, as you continue to feel into what this message means for you, I invite you to commit to one inspired action within the next 24 hours. Perhaps it's an email you need to send. Perhaps you're seeking some support in taking a creative challenge in your life. Perhaps you're seeking to start a new project, write a book, create a meeting of like-minded people to help support you on your path. What is that thing? What did you receive? Did you receive just validation of what you already knew? Sometimes, and I believe most always, you already know exactly what you need to do. And perhaps you just received the exact guidance that you needed. So I invite you to trust that inner being. I invite you to validate your own intuition and take that one baby step towards what you want to do. There's literally no more time to waste. Your life, your desires, your needs, your dreams, your wants. You are worthy of all of them. But you don't need to know how every 100 steps is going to happen. All you need to commit to is the very next one. So take a deep breath, write it down, commit to that one next step. I know you already know what it is. I can't wait to hear about your next steps. Go ahead and tag me on Instagram, Elena_Lipson. Send me a message. Let me know what came up for you. I'm always excited to see how this inner guidance unfolds. It's how I live my life. It's how I guide my clients to create their businesses through their own inner voice, through their own intuition, through their own connection with the divine being within each of us. You already know. You don't need anyone else to give you permission. If you want permission, this is it. You've got it. So go grab your life right now and take that next inspired action. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for being here with me on this podcast. I know there's so many new listeners. We've had almost 14,000 downloads, unique downloads. That means that there's been 14,000 times where you've listened to my words, to my heart, to my soul. And this podcast itself has been a calling for me. I heard that intuitive nudge for a long time before I finally decided to just do it and figure it out as I went. And so thank you for being part of that journey with me. I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you for all of your messages, your DMs, your reviews, your emails. And incredibly, I went to an event in Colorado about a week and a half ago, and I can't even count how many people came up to me telling me that they found my podcast, that they've been listening to it, that they've been inspired by it, people I don't even know. And to me, that was such a huge universal validation for me to keep going, because one at a time, I'm connecting with each of you, and it makes me so happy and makes me know that I am on the path that my soul wants me to be on, because it's aligned. I feel connected. It feels like magic most of the time. It doesn't mean it comes without self-doubt. Believe me, you're never going to fully get rid of that gremlin of self-doubt. But the more you can connect to that priestess inside, the more you're going to take those inspired, divine next steps now, not someday, because someday is never coming. It's right now. Have a phenomenal rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Meditations and Musings podcast. Go take care of yourself.
Thank you so much for listening and learning about the new divine self-care way of being in your life, business, and the bedroom based on the divine feminine metrics of success: pleasure, play, ease, grace, and a slower pace. If you're ready to bust the myth of overwhelm and tap into an inspired start to each day, I've put together a free video series for you to help you start each day with energy, inspiration, and ignite that inner pilot light which attracts joy, magic, and synchronicity. You can access my 3-step magic morning practice to help you ignite your inner light and attract the abundance that you're craving. Head on over to elenalipson.com/gift. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would so love if you share it with a friend, a sister, a mother, a daughter, and please leave a review. That is how the magic starts to ripple out. Here's wishing you a day full of beauty, magic, and divine self-care. I'll see you next time at the Meditations and Musings podcast.